Recently, the US ambassador to Pakistan visited Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to promote the US-Pakistan partnership. He referred to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir as Azad Jammu and Kashmir. India officially registered its protest with the US authorities over the usage of the illegal and biased term Azad Kashmir in repeated tweets. The territory where the US diplomat visited is a part of the Indian Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir and is currently illegally occupied by Pakistan. Let us look at the historical background and basic geography to develop a proper understanding. It all began in 1947 when Pakistan sent its tribal militias to the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir with the intention to capture it. The invaders managed to capture a portion of the state. Seeking India's assistance, the then Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir, Hari Singh, signed the instrument of accession and acceded the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir to India. Pakistan did not want the Maharaja to join India. What followed was the Indo-Pakistani War of 1947-48, also known as the First Kashmir War. The war ended with United Nations mediating a ceasefire along a line that was eventually named the Line of Control. India successfully defended most of the contested territory, gaining control of about 2/3 of Kashmir back then. That included the Kashmir Valley, Jammu and Ladakh. Whereas Pakistan managed to capture roughly 1/3 of Kashmir. That comprised what Pakistan calls Azad Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. Pakistan still continues to illegally hold the occupied territories. It is Pakistan's intention to liberate the portion of Jammu and Kashmir which is not with Pakistan. In 2019, the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act bifurcated the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir into two parts: the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the Union Territory of Ladakh. This portion of the Indian Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is illegally occupied by Pakistan. Pakistan calls it Azad Kashmir. For India, it is Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Now, this illegally occupied portion of the Indian Union Territory of Ladakh is called Gilgit-Baltistan. Together, these two illegally occupied regions are controlled by Pakistan. These two together are called Pakistan-administered Kashmir by international organizations including the United Nations. For India, it is Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Further, this portion of the Indian Union Territory of Ladakh has been illegally occupied by China. It is called Aksai Chin. And this portion of the Indian Union Territory of Ladakh is the Shaksgam Tract or the Trans-Karakoram Tract. It was ceded to China by Pakistan in 1963 under a boundary agreement. After learning this, now we can talk about the US ambassador visiting Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and demonstrating his provocative acceptance of the Pakistani position on the Kashmir conflict, for which India has conveyed its objections. By the way, this is not the first time the US is stirring up this sensitive Kashmir issue. Before this, in April 2022, a US Congresswoman visited Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and spoke out against the alleged human rights violations in Jammu and Kashmir, while conveniently closing eyes to the track record of human rights violations in Pakistan as well as the US. Repeated attempts at violating India's territorial integrity and sovereignty have drawn sharp reactions from India. Now, Azad Jammu and Kashmir is not the official name of this portion, as the excuse given by the US diplomats. It is not neutral terminology. Using this terminology is a clear interference by the US in the sovereignty dispute between India and Pakistan. A question arises: why is the US provoking India by meddling in India's internal security matters? The answer is because India has refused to toe the line of the Western countries led by the US. They are not liking India's independent and balanced stance in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. It is a fact that the US uses other nations in general and Pakistan in particular as and when it suits its agenda. In the past, Pakistan has proven to be of strategic importance to the US in countering the Soviet regime and in the US war against terror. It didn't take long for the US to forget Pakistan's support for the Taliban in Afghanistan and tilt towards China. What does the US want this time? As per geopolitical experts, presently the US is involved with Russia through its puppet government in Ukraine. It is being made to look like Ukraine versus Russia, but actually it is US versus Russia. It is just that this time they have chosen Ukraine to be a venue. Both nations want greater global support for them. Talking specifically about Pakistan, Russia is showing interest in participating in the Tapi gas pipeline project. With this, Russia is seeing Pakistan as a potential partner in Southeast Asia. This is something that the US wouldn't like, because the US wants Pakistan to take a clear stance against Russia. In the resolution at the United Nations General Assembly against Russia for invading Ukraine, the US wanted Pakistan to vote against Russia. It is not for nothing that several US and European leaders were meeting Pakistan's Prime Minister. They were pushing Pakistan to abandon its policy of neutrality in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. This is why, ignoring India-US relations, the US senior diplomats were flirting with Pakistan. Desperate times call for desperate measures. The US wants more and more countries to turn anti-Russia. It is proactively working to spread anti-Russian sentiment. It is cajoling Pakistan into turning against Russia. The Biden administration even reversed Trump's freeze on military ties with Pakistan by doling out a $450 million package for upgrading Pakistan's F-16 fleet. This package, as per the US, was for bolstering Pakistan's counter-terrorism capabilities. Everybody knows that Pakistan will use them against India. However, all this went in vain as Pakistan abstained from voting. Dr. S. Jaishankar exposed the West by stating that the West preferred military dictatorship as a partner rather than India. Of course, he was indicating towards Pakistan. And this is despite the fact that Western nations have begun several wars in the name of democracy. Western hypocrisy doesn't seem to end. The West did not supply weapons to India for decades. That is why India nurtured a defense relationship with Russia. Now they are expecting this relationship to disappear overnight. That is delusional. What the West badly needs is self-introspection and not lecturing India on what to do against its strategic partners. I hope you got some insight. Thank you for your time.